Very difficult to follow Dan, but I'll try. So I'm here to give a progress report on where we are with the Snaps platform. So I am the product lead for MetaMask Snaps. I'm also now the product lead for what we're calling developer innovation. And so the goal with that is anyone who's building products with MetaMask, we want to help you be successful. But today we're going to talk about Snaps specifically. So we are almost 6 months, actually less than 6 months out from when we launched Snaps. We announced Snaps at Permissionless last year in Austin on September 12th. So this is where we're at in less than 6 months. So we actually just recently crossed, last Saturday, over 400,000 users who have installed a Snap since we launched. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. If my portfolio net worth had this graph, I would be very happy, right? So yeah, it's a good graph. We are also currently at over 35,000 weekly active users and over 7,000 daily active users. So I gave an update back at DevConnect Istanbul, and that was at about 2.5 months, and we were at over 1,000 daily active users. So this is 7x returns. So that's pretty good in maybe 3 months. And I want to also talk about all of the platform improvements and new features that we have. Okay, so some of this is things that we actually had shared back at DevConnect Istanbul, and we had said oh, this is coming soon. Now it's actually in the platform, and you can use it in your Snaps. So I'm going to show you all the things that you can take advantage of now, and then the really exciting part is I'm going to show you what's coming to Flask very soon. So let's talk about first what's in the platform now. So we recently launched something called lifecycle hooks. And so it sounds super complicated, but it's actually very simple. You can actually display or do some action after the user installs or updates the Snap. So it's a hook that just provides a specific function, and you can use this entry point. And the simplest thing that you can do is you can just show a dialog. Let's say when the user installs or updates the Snap. And it may have some information about how to use the Snap, or maybe when they update, you can have some information about what has changed since the last time that they used the Snap. So I'm actually going to show you a video here, hopefully if this loads. And I'm installing a Snap that just has this one feature. And then here's a dialog that shows up when the installation is complete. So it just says the onInstall handler was called successfully, and that dialog showed up. So in that dialog, you can use whatever custom UI you want. You can have a link. You can say, oh, you need to go to this website to use the Snap or to continue setting it up. That's what that allows you to do. The next thing that we've done, which I'm really excited about, okay, so as some of you may not know, I got my start out programming, making my own home pages, right? So I was very excited to put together this feature where we have home pages in Snaps. And the reason that we did this is because up until home pages, all of the entry points for Snaps were basically reactive. It was the Snap has to be triggered by a dApp or some action within MetaMask, like a transaction flow. This is the first instance where a user can actually enter something within MetaMask and interact with your Snap directly. And so it is a dedicated UI inside of MetaMask. You can think of it as like your own embedded dApp inside of MetaMask where you can present whatever sort of experience you want. And so I have a demo of this too. And this is actually live on our test Snaps page, so you can see how it works. But essentially, I go into the Snaps menu. I click on my homepage example Snap. And it says, hello world, welcome to my Snap homepage. Okay? So we could probably revive GeoCities inside of Snaps, which I think would be a very good idea. If someone wants to work on that project, come talk to me afterward. But yes, in a little while, I'm going to show you how we're going to make that even more exciting with another feature that we have coming soon. But if you think of it, what wallet has ever allowed you to have a dedicated UI that you can present whatever sort of user experience you want to users, right? That's super exciting. Also, we've been adding more custom UI components. And so obviously, if you're going to present the ability for people to create custom UI, then they need all sorts of components that they can take advantage of. And part of what we're doing with our custom UI components is we're giving you the same sort of UI components that we use within MetaMask. So you can make experiences that fit into the typical flows that users do, right? When they're doing maybe transaction flows, when they're interacting with assets and so forth. And of course, then you can also do all sorts of crazy things with those components as well. But to give you some examples, this is a Snap that is a transaction insight. And so we actually added these row components. But on top of that, there's addresses there. And those addresses, automatically, you get an icon and you get the ability to like hover with a tooltip. So that address component that you just saw, that is just address, parentheses, and then just the address string. And then all of that UX you get for free with that address component. And so these sorts of components allow you to build very consistent UI that MetaMask users are already familiar with, right? So they're not confused about how it works. And that row component is really exciting because it's essentially a label and then a child component, and so there's different child components that you can put there. And so we're going to add, over time, even more components that you can use as part of that row. And then another one here, let's see. Now I always get stuck. Let's go here. So we also did links. I don't know how many of you have started using links inside of MetaMask. This is from an example snap. Ignore where this link goes. But you can actually embed links in any text component within a snap, and then you can link to whatever you want to link to, right? So if you have a dApp that is required to use your snap, you can link out to that from a dialog if you need to. Or let's say you have a transaction insight and you want to say, oh, if you want to get more information about this insight that you're seeing, you can go to this website, right? And then see like the full analysis or simulation or whatever other information you have. Or let's say you have a snap that's like designed to work with lots of different dApps, right? Like maybe you have a Solana snap, and that Solana snap is already integrated with lots and lots of Solana dApps. You can put in a directory, right, in a snap's homepage of all the different dApps that work with your snap, right? So users then can see what's the utility of the snap. Like where are all the places where I can go and use this snap and get value out of it? We also launched an entirely new category of snaps, which is called account management. We just recently launched this. There's going to be another talk later today about this, so I'm not going to get into this, but this part is really exciting. So when we launched snaps back in September, we launched with 3 categories, which are security, communication, and interoperability. This is the first new category that we've added since then, and these are snaps that can provide alternative account management solutions. So I'm just going to show you this really cool graphic that's going to make you excited about the session in a little while that's going to talk about it, and then I'm just going to tell you to stick around, okay? We also added a bunch of improvements on the DevX side. We consolidated our developer dependencies into one library, which is MetaMask Snaps SDK. So that's like one NPM package that has multiple features in it now. We also have been working on switching to Webpack, and we've improved our Webpack bundling, and in some cases, the bundler can reduce the size of your snap by 50%. So if you have not tried the Webpack bundler or you haven't bundled your snap in a while, you may get some performance improvements for users just when they're installing the snap, just by trying out the latest bundler that we have. And we're going to have some documentation really soon about how to use the new bundler that we've put together. We've also been working on our CLI. So how many of you use command line interfaces here? Yeah, in recent years, people have gotten really excited about making them look good. And so we've been working on our CLI interface. And we now have much better error reporting when you're working with the Snap CLI and formatting of those errors. So Dan was talking all about readability. Even for you developers, we care about readability. That's what we've been working on. And probably the coolest thing here, we've actually added the ability for snaps to throw errors without crashing. So when we launched snaps, if your snap had any error, your snap would crash, and then the user couldn't proceed. Now you can actually throw errors, and there's different types of errors in our documentation. We actually have a how-to guide on how to do this, and then you can recover from those and do different things, and so you can handle different types of errors from your snap without having to just basically, the user just gets stuck. And the last thing I will say, so we've been working on our snaps directory. This is our official directory where users can find all the different snaps that are allow listed and learn about them and install them, and we've just been making it better and better. And so this is what it looks like now. We've been working on sorting the most popular snaps, having different ways that users can learn about snaps, and also bringing in more information about the snaps into the detail pages. So this is the page for the StarkNet snap. We actually now show the permissions that the snap uses right on that page, so users have a better idea of what that snap does. And we also show related snaps across the bottom, so users can discover more snaps as they browse the directory. Okay, now I'm going to talk about new features coming soon. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now, most of this is going to ship to Flask very soon, and you're going to be able to start building with it. Some of this is actually part of the hackathon bounty that we have this week, and so people are already building with these features today. So screenshots in the snaps directory, this is pretty simple. I just showed you the directory, so I'm excited to show you this as well. Very soon we're going to have screenshots, and I know for anyone who's allow listed, we've been reaching out to you and asking you for screenshots. This is how they're going to look in the directory once they're available, and I think that's going to be really useful because people want to know, okay, what does this snap do? And obviously a picture communicates that a lot better than just sort of like reading the description. We've also been adding more custom UI, and so these are really cool. Radio buttons are super exciting for different types of form interfaces. Drop downs, you can actually build like all kinds of interfaces where you have like multiple tabs or multiple pages. And then secrets are really cool because now you can build like account management type tools where you can have maybe something that the user understands, okay, they understand that it's something secret and that they can click to reveal it. And so again, that interface that you see right there, you get that for free. It's just secret, and then whatever the content is, and it handles the click states for you. OK, and now I think I'm going to switch to a live demo so I can show you way more cool stuff. OK, so first thing I'm going to show you. So we have this test snaps page, which is actually part of our mono repo. And some of the things I'm going to show you here. So first of all, we've been working on name lookups, and I think this one, let me see, I need more brightness here. So I'm going to install this one. Oh, that's what happens when I go full screen. Actually, that might be OK. And now I'm going to go do a send, and I'm going to type in. OK, so up until now, MetaMask has just had like ENS name resolution, and that's like all you can do. We've been working on a really cool name resolution API, which can handle different chains, different domain name styles, right? So .lens, .nft, or .cb.id, like whatever sort of like top-level domain style you have. And it can also take schemes. So you can do like farcaster : and then the name, or email : and then an email address. So it supports both of those. And you can build a name resolution snap that can basically register, here's all the chains that I support and the different types of names. And then MetaMask will just automatically use your snap when the user is trying to send to one of those names. So before it was just, OK, you have ENS and you can do .eth and that's it. Now you're going to be able to build snaps that do all different types of name resolutions. And not just in the send flow, but also when the user is interacting with addresses in MetaMask, it will see information about those addresses from these snaps. So we have a very simple interface that you conform to, you return the information, and MetaMask leverages that in different places for the user to be able to get access to that and take advantage of that. And right now you're just seeing one, but if I have multiple name resolvers, they show up as a list. They show all these different options, and that way it actually shows you like which snap is providing that name resolution. Another one that I'm going to show you. So when we did transaction insights, everybody was like, OK, what about signatures? And we were like, yeah, so signatures are a little bit more difficult. But sure, we get the point. Like, you care about signatures. So we've been working on that, and I want to show you what it looks like. So this is a signature request. And when I click sign, this is an insight from a snap. So it says, warning from this snap, ignore the names of the snaps. That doesn't mean anything. I actually have 2 installed here, so I can actually show you multiple insights in one modal. And so now you can actually warn users when they're about to make a malicious signature. And what's really cool about it is we pass the signature types to you, so you can actually, and we pass the chain, so you may have insights that are chain specific, but you can actually warn a user, hey, this signature that you're about to make is potentially dangerous, risky, you're going to sign away some assets without realizing it. So now you can do signature insights as well. You can build a snap that does both transaction insights and signature insights, or just one or the other. But this is like a whole other dimension of user security that you can now provide with signature insights. All right, so that's pretty cool too, if you don't mind me saying. And then the other thing that I was going to show you is interactive UI. OK, so check this out. So I'm going to create a dialog. OK, I need to get out of full screen for this. OK, I create a dialog. You can see that. But it has a button. And on the button I say, let's see here. Oh, my goodness. One second. OK. So the button says Update UI. And I click it, and it says Enter something. And I haven't left that dialog. And I can actually get the state of the interface. So if I click on this, it actually gives me the current state of the interface. Example form, example input, value is null. So this is a stateful interface environment that you can build into your Snap, and you can build interactive interfaces that feel like maybe you're building a React interface. And so I can actually type in here. It says enter something, so I'm going to type something. I'm a rule follower, and I click submit. And it says the submitted value is something. This is one dialog. This is not multiple dialogues that I'm doing here. Similarly, in a home page, if I go here and then open the Snap, let's see. Where is the Snap? Yes. How do I do that? No, that doesn't zoom this. No, that was clever. That was a good one. Yeah, so, okay, you're going to have to take my word for this one. So I'm going to open the interactive UI Snap. This is a homepage interface, same idea. Update UI. Now it returns a form. Enter something. Submit. The submitted value is something. To show you another example of this, I have this Snap that was built by Mario Christopher, who's our builder engagement extraordinaire. And it's not actually, American Airlines didn't actually, this is not an official thing. I've called them and I said, if you guys had a Snap, it would be so good for your business. They hung up every time. But we built one as an example, and it actually has a bunch of different things here. It has like a copyable element. This is your frequent flyer number, your last flight. There's a link here. And then it says book your next flight. And it has a whole interface where you can go through. It's got page 1 of 5. I'm going to put my name here. Next. This is a multi-stage form input. I can put some stuff here. Hopefully this works. We'll see. Mario's like cringing right now. Yep. Wait, I know this one. Right. Cool. Okay, it's collecting all this information. Create a voucher. And this one. Cool. Now I can go to this website and take this and enter it over there. That's an entire dynamic UI interface inside of a home page. There was an image in that last step. There's forms. You can update them as you go. You can put in SVG images and do all kinds of fun things with it. I will build games with this. I'm committing to that. That's going to happen. You're going to have 2048 inside of MetaMask, right, if they let me have some free time at work. Yeah, so this is the part that I'm most excited about. I think that this unlocks really exciting use cases with snaps, and you're going to be able to apply this in any sort of UI component. Even let's say you have a transaction insight, and you want to just put a button there click to run simulation, and then it can update that panel and return the simulation there. Or you may have something like click to expand or load more information about this contract or something like that. Or maybe you have a snap that says hey, click to enter in some information about this contract, right? And the user can build more information about the contracts they're interacting with as they go. So I'm going to stop there. Those are the new features that we're working on. Like I said, they are shipping to Flask very soon, and you're going to be able to build with those. I'm going to go back to my slides now. So closing it out. If you have not gotten started building snaps, these are the resources that you need. Or if you already are, I just want to remind you, all of our documentation is on our doc site. The Snaps model repo has a bunch of different tools that you can use, including a simulator. You can use it for your end-to-end testing. You can look at, there's example snaps in there for all the different features that you can look at as sample code. We have our discussion board where you can come and ask us questions. We also have snaps improvement proposals. So usually when we start building a new feature, we start with a SIP, that's what we call them, and that's how we describe the API, the interface, and we get feedback. You can also go in there and suggest something. So some of the features that we have now are based on improvement proposals that were started by external contributors. So anyone can come in and provide a proposal. And then we also have this builder team space. That's where this QR code goes to. Where you can go sign up for our builder engagement program. And we have a team that will work with you. They will help you, ideate, work through your snap. If you get stuck, they can help you get unstuck. They can help you learn more about all the different APIs you can work with. And they're basically there to help you be successful, right? That's what they want to do. And the last thing I'll say is we've been uploading our education series onto the MetaMask Developer YouTube channel. So if you go to MetaMask Developer on YouTube, there's a Snaps playlist, and it has a bunch of different videos that you can watch that walk you through all sorts of API features, how to design your snap, how to make it secure, things like that. Definitely watch those videos if you haven't already. And that is the end of that presentation. Thank you. Do we have any questions? Any questions?
First of all, super cool. I love all the advancements you're doing. So I work at a company called Shrapnel. There's a AAA first-person shooter game, and Mercury, which is the platform for that. And so we'd love to do snaps for projecting inventory, marketplace, other things like that inside of that. On the UX side, our designers are pretty specific about what they want to go do. And a lot of things that we're doing might require controls like a list view. So I was just curious, how much control do we have over controls? Like, can we create our own controls that can go inside of snaps?
So we are working on some controls that will allow you to do like a list view. It will be in the MetaMask UI style. You can obviously, with SVG, you can create some of your own interfaces, but they won't be interactive, right? But I would say that like to be able to create list views for inventory, or also even for like if someone invites someone to a game, or like like your stats, your status, your achievements, things like that. I would definitely explore it for that, and I would be happy to talk more about how we can make the UI more customizable in the future.
Cool, thank you.